What is going on, everyone? I am Steve from Burke Family 54 Comics. Welcome to another Thursday night chat. We're going to be hanging out, talking comic books, talking movies, and just chilling. Before we do that, though, let's hit that intro. So far, we only have one guest on the panel tonight. That is Rob from Rob's Fast Sacks. What's going on, dude?
I'm from every channel, brother.
How you doing?
Oh, it's end of month, and I work in the financial business, financial side of my business, so it's crazy as always.
Yes, I understand that. I got less than 2 weeks until I got to go back to work, so I'm
Oh
not looking
yeah.
forward to that. But
Well, you go back pretty early then.
yeah, my first day back at work is August 3rd.
How many days do you guys go back before school starts?
Usually a week. We'll have
Okay.
professional development, so meetings for like
Right. Some time
about
to get your room ready. Yeah.
we only got 1 day of that. We only have one
Well,
day to get your room ready, which is kind of crazy considering my room is like a computer lab. But that's a whole nother topic. But
I would imagine that as long as you're not moving from room to room, it shouldn't be too bad if they let you keep
well,
your stuff. Assuming they let you keep your stuff there all summer, and
so
they don't
most
take the
people.
portable somewhere else.
Yeah, so most people their room is completely fine because they got their one computer or their one computer and one laptop. But me, I got 20 desktops that I got to put together because I have to take them off the desk so they can take the desk out and clean the entire floor.
Oh,
So then I got to put together 20 iMacs all together that I put over on the side. So it takes me about 2 or 3 hours to get everything set up and make sure everything's working. But
what you need like an intern, an IT intern or something to come in and help set up stuff.
in the past, I've had students come in that are on my yearbook staff and help me, and
Yeah.
uh, that. But I don't really know that many kids like anymore. Like a lot of the kids I had that were great were all seniors last year. So, okay, I'm gonna say hi to the chat real quick, and then we'll get moving on
Yeah.
here.
Let's play Romper Room.
What's that?
Let's play Romper Room.
What is that?
Oh, you're young. I forget. There was a show on that was called Romper Room, and at the end, it was a kids show, and the host of the show was like would have a magic mirror, and it wasn't really a mirror; it was just a loop with a handle that she could see through, and she'd like be looking out through her TV, out through the TVs into your rooms out there,
Oh,
and she'd be calling out people. Oh, I see Burke, and I see, and you get like you're all sitting there all the time say, "Hi, I'm right here. Do you
oh
see
my
me?"
gosh!
And like when they would say somebody's name close to you, you would say, "That's it. She saw me. She just didn't know my name."
Wow,
It
that's
was it was great.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's what we call it on the old Saturday show I do. We call it playing romper room as we go around and see everybody and say
Let,
hello to them.
let's do it. Let's do it. Stephen M. It is Morphin time. 100% of the time, it is Morphin time. What is going on? Remy Q Bebe, what is up? I appreciate the chainsaw unboxing. I believe it was yesterday that it was either yesterday or Tuesday that you premiered that video that you won from, I think it was Alan Ruse giveaway that I sent you the mystery box for. I appreciate you posting that. I do appreciate that and all the kind words you said, of course. Collectibles to astonish. Hello, it is Morphin time. Like I said, 100% of the time, it's Morphin time. And I'll tell you what, they announced a whole bunch of Power Ranger stuff today at SDCC. We'll get into that here in a little bit. Kenneth Bird, what is going on, sir? Don't feel bad. My wife has to go back to school the same week. Yeah, see, there it is. August 3rd is
Yeah.
the first day back, and um, I love my summers. I love sleeping in. Like I feel like that's the best part is getting to sleep in and really do essentially whatever I want. Now I do have a 7-year-old, and so it's not exactly whatever I want. You know what I mean? I was telling Rob off camera I gotta make, dinners. I gotta make sure she gets ready for bed. I gotta put her to bed. I gotta, check on her every once in a while if she's playing with friends. I gotta, there's a lot I gotta clean up after her. There's a lot of stuff you gotta do that I won't have to do here in about 11 years. But at the same time, I guess I should enjoy it because she's the only
In
child
about
I
4 years, you want nothing to do with you.
That is true. That is true. Disco, what is going on, JB? How you doing, sir? I was never into Power Rangers. Now my 5-year-old is hooked, and I'm trying to catch up. I'll tell you what. Make sure they're only hooked on the TV show and not any of the action figures or comic books or any of that stuff. Because I'll tell you what, it adds up quickly. Quickly, it adds up. Like just like a single Lightning Collection figure, which is the current like line that they call the action figures for Power Rangers. And each single one costs like $25 or $30, and you get the whole team. I mean, that's like 150, $200 to get the entire team. So, sparingly, I cook. What is a signature dish? Well, I would say that I do the easy stuff. I do the manly stuff. I'll grill up some steaks and some chicken, and I'll do some spaghetti, and I'll do some of the easy stuff.
Hold on. When you define spaghetti,
Rob,
are
don't
you
ask
are
me.
you are you are you boiling noodles and opening up a jar? Yes. Okay. So
I cook no, but hold on. I do more than that. I cook up the meat because I have to have meat in my sauce.
uh-huh.
So I'll cook up the meat. I'll brown the meat,
So what are you cooking up?
and
Ground beef?
then yes, I will from a can or a jar. I'll put in the sauce.
What are you using for meat?
Ground beef.
All right.
I felt the look of disgust there from. I'm not a cook, okay, Rob. I'm just not. Like my wife is the one that does that. That is
Fair enough.
her.
I just wanted to make sure I established the level of when you said cooking spaghetti.
I don't.
There's whole different levels, and so
No,
I got it. You're basic. That's fine.
I am basic, and I'm 100% okay with that. I'm
Yeah.
100% okay with that.
That's how my wife grew up with that way, and that's how she would cook it.
I'll tell you what, though, Rob. I married an Italian.
Yeah, she don't let. Her spaghetti's probably a lot different, ain't it?
So we make like ravioli for Christmas with her family from scratch,
Right.
and then the leftover dough,
However else would you
we
do
grind it up into noodles. So like
Right.
everything is from scratch.
Yeah. What other way is there?
Come on, Rob. The basic way. We've established that.
Your parents her parents you try to break the noodles and they come over there and slap you.
I mean, no. I whenever we go to her house for cooking, I don't do any cooking. I do the cleanup because I know that I'm not the cook, and they're fine with that too. Because that way I'm good at that. Because that way I don't have to make anything that people don't like or mess up anything that people will eat. I only do the cleanup, which no one can get upset about because I always do it. Rob's cooking 101, 100%.
Yeah, I remember when I announced back when my kid was in Cub Scouts and I was the scoutmaster and stuff, and we were doing the cooking for the family camp, and I announced that we were going to have pasta as one of the side dishes and whatnot, and some of the parents came to help me unload the truck into the kitchen, and we're unloading stuff, and they're seeing like me pulling all these flats of tomatoes and onions and fresh mushrooms and stuff. And they're like, "Oh, what the hell is all this for?" I said, "Well, so we're having pasta for." No, wait a second. You mean you're going to make the sauce from? I'm as puzzled by your statement that you're thinking that I wasn't going to as you are by the fact that I am going to. So let's just leave it at that.
we go visit her. AR says he makes a mean lasagna. Yeah, I like.
Is it a frozen lasagna?
My wife makes it from scratch. Yeah. I think except for when she makes a lasagna, though, I do think that she does buy the noodles for that. That is the one thing that she does for that.
No, I don't have a problem with buying ready. Making noodles from scratch is a pain in the butt sometimes. I don't have a problem.
But I'll tell you what, when we go and
noodles.
visit her family, what's up, James? In Illinois, I mean, her aunts never leaves the kitchen.
Right.
And when I say never leaves the kitchen, like I went with
making pasta takes 8 to 10 hours.
Dude, it's like you're eating all day.
The sauce needs to simmer for like 6 hours minimum.
Like,
so
since we all come, like they have 2 refrigerators, and every refrigerator is full of food, and it's half of food that you're about to eat, half the food that got left over, and then a bunch of beer. and wine.
Yeah,
It's an experience. It's an
sounds
experience.
legit.
Dude, it is legit, and I love it because I like to eat. I don't like to cook, but I do like to eat. So it is 100% a great experience. Okay, I do have to hit up a few things really quickly here. Thank you to the 616comics.com for sponsoring a channel and sponsoring the monthly Burk Box. Make sure you guys check out the 616comics.com for all of your exclusive variants and comic book needs. We're going to be drawing for the Thursday night. Sorry, we're going to be drawing for the Burk Box for July next Thursday on the Thursday night chat, which will actually be a comic book auction next Thursday. It's in the thumbnail I put on there. We're doing an auction here next Thursday from 8 to 11 Central Time, I believe. I'll be on it. I think Rob's going to be on it. Panda, Legion, Dave, at least one more. I forgot who it was. But we're going to be doing an auction here next Thursday on the channel. And we'll also be drawing for the Burk Box as well. So that is what we're going to be doing next Thursday. And I do want to say that I'm announcing that I'm doing a raffle on my Instagram starting tomorrow for the book that I just got back from CBCS. I'll share the photo again. It's kind of an expensive book. It's kind of a key. It's a pretty big key, in my opinion, at least. We're going to be raffling a Marvel Spotlight #5, first appearance of the Ghost Rider, in a CBCS 5.5, and it presents beautifully. The only reason it's a 5.5 is because there's a couple stains on the back and then on the inside cover. But on the front, it looks amazing. We're going to be doing, I believe, 40 or 42 spots at $50 a spot. And again, I'm going to be posting that tomorrow morning on my Instagram page. I'll let the Burke fan know early if they want some spots. I believe a couple already have been claimed by Scott, but I'm going to let them know again tomorrow or maybe even tonight if they want a spot to let me know before I post it. But again, there's going to be 40 or 42 spots here for CBCS 5.5 Marvel Spotlight #5 first Ghost Rider that I'm posting on my Instagram tomorrow. I was going to sell it to Mark, but things just didn't quite work out. Timing didn't work out perfectly because there's a book that I'm trying to get that was posted today that I just could not pass up. In fact, I already made a down payment on it and need to sell this book to get it. So
I bet I saw that book. I think I know which one it is.
Put it in a private chat. I guarantee that I'm pretty sure you know what it is. I don't know where Remy was here. May have already jetted out. Tylox, what is going on, sir? How you doing? I went and seen Thor: Love and Thunder on Tuesday, and I'm not going to spoil the movie, but it was better, in my opinion, than Thor: Ragnarok. Yes, that is what it is.
Yeah, I saw it. It was like a 2.5 or something like that.
2.0.
2.0. Yeah, it was,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, and
I saw it and I thought of you. Look at that.
Yep, they lowered the price, and I was like, now we're talking.
What was great is I love that, like, this Marvel Presents that you're going to raffle off. I was looking back on the thread, like, because you sent me pictures at that early on, but back before you actually pulled the trigger on it, I think.
Yep.
Or maybe it was shortly after you pulled the trigger on it and like was trying to figure out, what grading is. I was very happy when I looked at the thread. I said, oh, probably a 5.55.
Yes.
I was like, yes.
That is perfect. That is, you and Mark both said it'd probably be a 5.5, and I even think Jonathan said that as well, and I think Dave said that as well.
Awesome.
And so I was a little. I overthink things quite a bit. That is something that I do a lot with comic books, and thankfully it came back 5.5. So I'm pretty happy with that. Let's Flo. What is going on, sir? Rob,
Good job. Yeah. Not wrong, except I did do my job this morning from 6 a.m. and I even worked overtime today. What are you talking about, Flo? Jeez. I got off
You-
work, went straight to freaking Gary's channel. Barely had time to go to the bathroom.
Right, right. Um, I had a really busy day today, dude. My wife left this morning for DC, and then I took my daughter to gymnastics, and then we went and got some lunch, and she came back, and we only had about an hour and a half for her to play with her friends. And then we went to this place called Leap, which is like an indoor trampoline park. It's kind of like Sky Zone, but they have other things as well. Like they have a full bowling alley and they have arcade
Oh,
games and all
nice.
that. And we played there for about 3 hours, and we came home and rested for about an hour and a half. And that's when we ate dinner, and then we went on a about an hour and a half walk around the neighborhood and talked to some of our neighbors and saw some animals and went into one of the houses that's brand new that people are trying to sell and got some ideas for whenever we decide to get a new house. And that was cool. We came back and got ready for bed. So it was a pretty busy day for me. Pretty busy day for me. And I know you said you were pretty busy. You're starting to get pretty busy right now as well.
End of month every month is just busy because I for my real life job is spent I work in the financial portion of our business, and that end of month, all you got all the salespeople trying to get deals done and people trying to hit their quotas and whatnot. And then on top of that, it's the month where we next week we announce our last quarter's earnings. So there's all the regulatory stuff that's got to get completed for that, and blah blah blah. Boring bean counter stuff, essentially. But
I feel you. I feel you. I like your shirt. When did you do they give that to anyone that buys from Shortbox?
no, 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 no. It's only for very special people.
Oh,
I don't know. There was there was something that they ran at one point where it was like you had to like, hey, we're gonna be giving away. I think it was very early on in their stuff, and it was like a, hey, for because you bought from us multiple times, if you're interested, in getting one of these shirts, just fill out this form, and then they'd send you one for free. And I did and forgot about it, and eventually all of a sudden in the mail one day it's like, oh, look at that, I got a short box shirt. Otherwise I don't think you get one unless you're a girl on Instagram and want to be part of their crew. Because yeah, no, I don't know.
yeah,
I do
you
like
can.
short box some.
You can. That's funny that you say that because I was actually just watching. I think it was an Alex the Comic Hoarder video today that he either posted today or yesterday, where he unboxed a book that he got from Shortbox as part of his agreement with them. Instead of them paying him per video or per ad or whatever, like he did a certain amount of ads for them, I guess. Where
Hmm.
over time it just collected enough to where
Credit,
like he worked toward a book.
right?
And did you see
That's kind of cool.
what's that?
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was the first appearance of Mary Marvel.
Nice. Yeah, no, I mean, usually, so I bought a couple books from them. I bought one really big book from them. That was where I got my Batman Adventures 12. And then most of the books I've gotten off a short box have been lesser expensive books, mostly because sometimes I forget about it, or sometimes those guys still want a lot of money for stuff, and it's a harder deal haggle sometimes I find. But I've gotten several books that were on the lower end price because I'll just sit there, and because I've bought books from them, every once in a while they just run some promo code and they'll say like, hey, buy a book over this price and over $100 and get like $10 off or $15 off or something. And so then I'll go cruise around, or something. I think sometimes even done like more than, as long as you spend more than $50, get like $15 off. And I'm going
Right.
around perusing like the cheap slabs, and I'm like, oh, look at that. Okay, a Batgirl #1, with slabbed in a 9.8. Fine, I'll take that. And that's going to cost me $30 or something. And it was the Cassandra Cain Batgirl that I really like, so I'm well, yeah, I'll take that. Just
Boom,
oddball stuff like that.
boom. I need to grade my Batman 567 at some point. I think it's like only like a 9.4, 9.6. So that's why I've been hesitant. I want to if I'm going to own that book, I want it to be in a 9.8. But So I kept it raw, but at some point I do need to get it graded. I know there's like a debate about like the first appearance. Like it's either that one or like what's that other book? It's like it's another
For
Batman book.
the first Cassandra Cain Batgirl, is that what you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
I've only known Batman 567. That's the only one I recognize.
Something about Spidey.
I've had several 9/8s of that book in my time.
Oh, dude.
I think I think right now I'm only sitting on one. I think I've sold a couple of them in the past, but
So the other one's like oh, it's Batman Legends of the Dark Knight number 120 is the other one I'm thinking of. So
yeah, nobody.
that's her first appearance as Batgirl. Her first appearance as Cassandra Cain is Batman 567. But I feel like she is Batgirl in that 567.
She is on the cover, that's for
because
sure.
I read it, but whatever.
She is on the cover.
Both, right? Just own both.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, I've seen.
My wall's not quite to your level yet, Rob.
Yeah, I saw your video redoing it. It's pretty good, man.
I appreciate that. I made a lot of
The
holes in
bottom
the
row
wall.
kind of sucks, but I mean,
What's that?
I said the bottom row kind of sucks, but can't do everything right. What are you gonna do?
You were funny. Oh man, I with the amount of Power Ranger books I had, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a whole row of helmet covers, all 9.8s. It looks great together. We've got to do some Batman DC there, and then I was like, I'll put some Spider-Man up there along with some more DC stuff. So,
you might be right because Burke, I'm looking at DC fan base. Their wiki. They only listed as the first appearance of Cassandra Cain, first appearance of David Cain, and first appearance of Faisal. But that's about it.
yeah.
But it is the first cover appearance of Cassandra Cain as Batgirl.
I love the cover appearances.
Oh,
I just do.
That Batman 567. That's the one that gets all the love. I don't think anyone really gives Dark Knight book all that love. Does anyone give any Dark Knight book any love? I mean,
no, you're right. You are right 100% about that.
Or Shadow of the Bat. I mean, those are books. Those are like the Web of Spider-Man and Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man of the Batman books, right? It's like, there's a couple books in there you might want, but they're not really going to cost you all that much.
Yeah, I want to say, what is it, like Victor Zsasz or something?
Victor Zsasz is number one. You can pick that. That book's a dime a dozen. I pick them up all day long for like $10 a pop in the poly bag.
Shadow of the Bat number one. I mean, you can get that for like $2 or $3.
Yeah. Yeah, in the poly bag, the deluxe edition that has the full map of Arkham Asylum still in it and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so yeah, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What you need to do, Burke, is go up higher, so that way you can get up into some old books.
Ooh, hold on. Let me move you full screen here. There we go. You really can't tell a big difference like from here between a CBCS and CGC. The only difference you can tell is the white box.
Yep, that's exactly why I say whether you want a white box or not. But yeah, the top row starts at like 1938, 39 for that famous funnies, and rolls over to the late 40s, and then we start in 1950 on the second row. And what you gonna do, brother?
So many Batman keys. There's one for every budget. There
is.
There is, and from at least from my wall, I mean, I have like
you have some good ones.
I feel like I have some decent ones, but I also have
you have some good ones, Burke. I'll give you shit all day long, but those are solid, man. First Silver Age Scarecrow, first Batgirl. Dude, I don't even have that Detective Comics first Batgirl. That's a great book. First Ra's al Ghul, solid. It was a very shrewd picking up that Joker book. I think that whoever sold you that book was a sucker, and that's good. Obviously, first Black Mask isn't what it was for a bit there. And anyway, you got your Court of Owls book down there on the far end, right? And year one.
Court of Owls, I got Killing Joke. I got year one. I got first Jason Todd as Red Hood. I got that
Okay.
Killer Jim
Oh yeah.
Lee
Okay.
Superman Batman cover.
Oh,
So
okay. That's why I couldn't make those two out for some reason what they were,
yeah,
but
it's hard.
but hey, you can't make everything out all the time. There's glare. There's it's just what it is.
Yeah, yeah. And like he said, that there are Batman keys for every person for every single budget. Like
That's the beauty, man.
that is the beauty. That
and
is the
and
beauty.
because you can sit there and you can do that and you can, hey, I don't need to be even first appearances, like you go, oh God, I don't have a start with your second appearance, work your way up, you know on
Start
certain
with
on some of the bigger characters, that's all
start
good.
with start with low grade. Start with raw before you get
Eli-
slab. You know,
oh
work
hey,
your way up.
my first iteration of the Great Wall of Comics was facsimiles slipped inside top loaders that were attached to the wall.
Yes,
That's all it was. And people, I still have a couple, most people knew, but a couple people come over and they go, holy shit, dude, these are, where you got
right,
these books? X-Men 1, Fantastic Four 1, AF-15, Brave and the Bold. Just
right,
like, you're, it's just insane. Dude, yeah, no, Eli, I love that, man. Ken Hazer, I love Ken Hazer, the indentured servant for Dynamic Forces, proper job. I've probably almost have enough books to put a row of Ken Hazer up there, man. I for a while actually thought about, I was trying to do all like sketch arts for the bottom row, but I just ended up getting so many damn good other books that I was like, man, I need I need like a whole turn my house into a museum and just put.
right.
I need to take what I need to do is I need to take down like all my Nightmare Before Christmas movie posters and replace them all with more thing. Flo, I have the first Duke Thomas, and it is double signed.
I would say I thought
Uh,
yours was a signed edition.
it is. I had that was the fun story, right? Or I had a raw copy of of that. I think it's Batman 25 from the New 52, or 20 or it's somewhere around there.
21.
Maybe that's it. I can't remember off the top
I'm
of my
gonna
head.
look it
I
up
should
real
know.
quick. Go ahead.
Flo's gonna hate me now because I don't know, but it's in the 20s. But it's like a dark cover. It's one of those embossed bat covers, and I had a raw copy, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be a 9/8. And there was a double signing coming up for Snyder and Capullo, and I thought, man, this would look awesome with because it had yellow text. So let me get them to sign it in yellow as well. It would just look so amazing. And so I bought a 9/8. It ended up being a CBCS off of eBay for dirt cheap. And I got it home and I cracked it. I went to crack it open. And that's when I learned that CBCS was no joke, trying to crack open a slab. And I ended up damaging the book. So I had to fall back to the copy I had in my PC, which thankfully came did come back a 9/8 after getting signed. And then of course, the one that killed me was they didn't sign it in yellow like I asked and signed it in
Mm,
silver. So I mean, it's still cool, but it's not as from an eye candy standpoint. It's not as cool.
right,
But
right. Well, I still think it's cool. I still think it's cool. I have okay. So I looked it up. First Duke Thomas is Batman number 21, but he's not
okay,
named Duke Thomas or
right,
anything.
right. It's just his first appearance. Yeah.
So, and his first time he's named Duke Thomas is Batman number 30. Both of those from the New 52.
Yeah, well, yeah, and obviously I have all those. I like,
Yeah.
which one first appearance. As much as I always talk about, he's underrated. Duke Thomas of the Signal. The other character I really like from that New 52 run, which I mean, at least the character's shown up a little bit lately in the backup stories, is Bluebird.
I
I
was, I
really
was
kind
going
of
to say, I bet you're going to say Bluebird.
Yeah, I dug Bluebird from the get go, and ended up going back and picking up multiple first copies of Bluebird because that's also another one that's not expensive,
No,
and
it's not.
probably nothing will ever come of it. But you know what? So what? Nothing much is ever coming out of your Tim Drake books either, have they? So
That is true. That is true. I want to say that Bluebird's first appearance is like the annual for New 52, either the
I
annual
thought it
number
was.
one or issue number
I
0.
thought it was actually like issue 5 or
It may
not.
have been. It may have been.
Um,
You would know better than me.
first appearance,
I was looking at your wall there,
Bluebird.
and we have 5 of the same, no, 6 of the same slabs, but I'm only displaying 5 out of your 6.
Harper Row is an unnamed woman in Batman Volume 2, issue number 1, as Harper Row in issue 7, and as Bluebird in issue 28.
Okay.
All the New 52. Yeah. So what you say? Oh, you're talking about. So yeah, this is a duplicate. That's a duplicate for what you have. Obviously the Batman 189. What Spider-Man 300.
I don't have his 300.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I do not.
Then I'm trying to think what was the others. And obviously nothing on those rows. I only have 3 bat.
No, there's one over there. There's one over there in that third row. Third row up from the bottom. I mean.
Really? Oh well, oh you have your first Teen Titans.
Yep.
Ah, okay, yeah, okay,
Right there.
Okay, proper job. And what was the 5th one?
So you have So we both have Brave and the Bold 54. We both have Batman 251, Batman 232, Batman 189, Ultimate Fallout number 4.
Oh, okay.
Also in a 9.6, but yours is like triple signed and mine is not signed.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of you, I have a Wolverine number 1, but mine is not displayed, and yours is a 9.8, mine's a 9.4. So.
Right. Oh, I have a 9.4 also.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Is
that the one that was signed?
No, the 6.5 is signed.
Okay.
So I have a 6.5 that's triple signed and remarked. And then I have the 9.4, which was my very first slabbed comic, and then the 9.8. Yeah.
I remember the signed one, and I was gonna say I thought it was lower grade than 9.
Yeah, it's a 6. It's a 6.5. It's a book I picked up from a buddy of mine that was going through some. He got laid off. I used to work with him. He got laid off from our work, and at the same time, he was working at a bar, and then COVID happened, and the bar had to shut down and stuff, and
right.
So it was like he was moving some books to try to make ends meet, and
yep, that's what a lot of us got to do. I know a lot of people have to do that sometimes, and I've done it before too, and it sucks. But the good thing is that they're, I mean, at least slab comics, I would consider assets for sure.
Eli,
you can sell them and use them to pay for other stuff. So
the signed Noctera should be up. Which one though, Eli? I have multiples.
I thought you did.
Yeah, I have multiple covers. I have the Boss Logic, and then I have the Glow in the Dark cover. Both of those are double signed. And then I have, I think, I have just the B cover, I think, which is single signed. And then I have a 1 in 25 Noctera 1, which is also double signed, but nobody's seen it yet because it's on its way back to me. So yeah. There, I'll just flex all over you, right?
Right.
Noctera number 1. I got that.
Panda is having some issues with his computer. He just messaged me. I must have missed it. Hey, Tina, how is it going? I appreciate you coming into the chat. I'm assuming you came over from Reggie, and I appreciate that. Maybe you just came in because you support me, and I appreciate that as well. So,
yeah. So I know my bet.
What's up?
Yeah, go ahead. Go and finish your statement.
I was gonna say Tina is like Reggie's like number 1 moderator.
So cool.
Every chat and every video, she's there. She's there. So
awesome. So I know that my Batman 251 is a higher grade than yours since 100%. I sold you the 251 because it wasn't as good as this other one I picked up. Because the funny thing is that Batman 251 that I sold you, that was the intent on that book was going to be my wall piece originally, because I bought that book. I was in Utah actually dropping off. I was dropping off my kid from college. Had some time before my flight. Went over to the local comic book shop over there, ruffling through the bins, and I found that book in there. I want to say I don't, my memory ain't so good nowadays, but I want to say I paid like 40, $45 for the book or something, raw the way it was. And then had him ship it to my house. I didn't have to try to carry it in my carry-on bag and stuff. And then obviously took care of sending it off to get pressed and get it slabbed and everything else. So all said and done, you know, it took forever in grading, but by the time it came back, I had already come across
A,
this 6.0
a nicer copy.
at a price that I couldn't walk away from.
Right.
And so it was like, okay, well, I'll take it because I assumed that book would come back somewhere around, a 2
Right.
on a low grade. And so I was like, okay, no, it'll be easy to move. It looks good.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be cheap. And so,
You gave me an insane price, and I
yeah,
appreciate
I
that.
gave
And
it.
you
You gave it
worked
for
with me on it too.
basically covered my expenses, and I made maybe $20 off of it afterwards.
Yeah.
Then done. So, but it doesn't matter, dude. It's more, some of those things aren't about buying your next big key, and I wasn't going to get much more than that anyways. I might have gotten another $40 selling it at that grade, unless I took advantage of somebody.
Sure. Well, and like I said, I appreciated it because I've had 2 copies before. One was slightly worse. I'd probably say it's more like a 1.0. And I sold that. And the other copy I had was definitely nicer. It was like probably like a 3 or a 4. But I a-okayed that to my good friend Carlito Classico, which I don't know if you guys watched the channel before. He sent me so many insane a-okays, and he used to have a copy, and due to some reasons he sold his, and I wanted to make sure he got that copy, got another copy for his personal collection. So
what's the grade on your Razagul?
It's a 4.5, and at some point I would like to upgrade that to like a 6 or a 7. There's a lot. Actually, I was going to do a whole video on like all the books that I would like to upgrade because I feel like now's
every one of them.
Some of the books are some of the books are like mega keys in my opinion, and they're still so low in price. Like the first book
Teen Titans.
Raven Bolt 54. Like it's ridiculous how
that's
low
exactly why I have on that book. That's why I have a 7.0 is simply I was looking originally when we had 3 or some odd people come on Slab Hub with that book, and every time I'd be looking it up and I'd be like, oh my God, this book is like you could get like a 4 to a 5.0 for like $200 something or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's insane. So I was looking for one in that range. But all the books in that grade, people were asking like double what they should be getting. And I was like, I'm not playing. I don't want to play this game of, okay, you're asking double what it should just so that way you can negotiate down to maybe what it should or something, right? And so I was looking around, and finally one day the 7.0, the guy was asking like, I don't know, 5, and I was able to talk him down some and do it. And I was like, oh,
that's awesome.
If I'm going to pay that much money, I'd rather pay that much money and get the higher grade, and it was actually then at or below FMV. So sometimes you get up going a little bit higher than you want because right now I think there's a lot of on the keys, especially. I think there's a lot of a little bit of overinflation on the low end, low grades, simply because that's the affordability range for so many of us that want to have those. But hey, we're not independently wealthy. We're not, we got families, we got these other things. We have some disposable income, but I don't have $15K to drop on a book, right?
No.
So, but can I over a couple months scrape together 1, 2? Sure. So, you get these books that are in that range, and I think because there's so many more people that want it, and it's in that range, they end up going for a little bit more than they really should be when you compare to what the higher grade books go for.
Well, and
But
I noticed that a lot of the books on eBay, they're always priced way higher because of the fees on eBay. Like you're going to
yeah,
get way better prices buying it from literally anywhere other than eBay. And people always price them way high anyways, just to see if anyone will pay
but
them.
eBay has the eyeballs
They do.
because that's the thing.
We
I
all
got
go on there.
I've got stuff on my slabs. You know what? Their 1% might be great, but I ain't sold a single book yet on my slabs, and I price them based on the fact that I get lower. I'm paying less. Like
Eyeballs.
my
Yeah.
Submariner 1 is priced like $100 less on my slabs than it is on eBay because of the fees and stuff. But still, you know,
It is I would like to see a traffic for comic books searched on eBay versus comic books searched anywhere else. But you know, it, like I
yeah.
said, I feel like that's why they're priced so high on eBay is because people need to take care of those fees because
There's a
everyone's always on there. Everyone buys them.
yeah, it's a combination of fees, and it's a combination of also people still. Oh, there's a lot of businesses that are selling their stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
people that are. There's probably a lot more people who are selling as regular sellers there than are people like me who sells an occasional book there, right?
Right.
And as a result, when I list a book and go to sell it, I'm caring about just trying to get roughly, somewhere around the fair market value for the book
Sure.
versus somebody who's bought it and flipped it. Maybe they just bought it recently. And so they might have gotten a little bit of a deal on it, but now they're trying to maximize their profit. They're asking for a bunch, hoping that, they can, somebody like me who's looking at it goes, I don't want to, fair market value is 500, but they're asking 1,000. I don't want to hit them with a $500 drop down, or even worse is even if I do go and hit them with a $500 offer because that's the fair market value, then they come back at 750, and now what? Now or 800 or something, and now
Right.
I'm still got to come up off of the fair market value price unless I hit them with like some stupid low number that's insulting, or that they've automatically got auto reject on, so
Yep. I agree with that 100%. I feel like eBay like 5 years ago was like way more used than it is now because of all the other options like Instagram. There's like a whole bunch of consignment places on there, and they always sell them
yeah.
below what people pay on eBay, right? Like,
Right, and I do like some of that, but at the same time, there is sometimes when you get to a certain price point where I also like protection. Um,
sure,
you know, that telling me that I have to do a fee-free payment, which means I have no protection whatsoever.
yeah,
That's that. Other than me going, the only protection I have is to call you out on Instagram or something, right? Is
sure.
and potentially maybe affect your reputation. But that sometimes bugs me when you get to a certain price point. So I can understand being willing to step
What
up some for that. And
what
then
is the PayPal fee for
it's I don't know.
goods and services?
I can't remember. I don't sell enough books to pay attention.
So it
But
looks like it's okay. According to them, it is 3.5% for domestic transactions plus a fixed fee of about 2%. So, um,
I figure probably by the time it's all said and done that you're probably losing at least 10%. But
yeah, I mean, okay,
at least that's how it
so
feels. Which on some books that might not be a big deal, depending what you sell it for. But on some books it is.
it's about $73 more. So it's about $36 more per thousand if you're going by the fees. So let's say it's like $1,000 book, and you want to pay goods and services, just tack on an extra $36,
Or
and you're good to go.
yeah, well, but that's if somebody will let you, right? Sometimes they don't want
That
to
is another thing. Will
because
they let you do it?
they only want fee free because now I don't want to because I'm trying to hide it from the tax man, right?
Sure,
It's
sure,
just like, come on, dude, you're a business.
right,
Freaking step up and do your and just be legit.
right. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Bobby says he's never purchased a book through the mail. Well, then I suppose your mail call videos are pretty boring.
Oh shoot!
Here's an empty box of stuff I didn't buy.
I have purchased
No.
from literally everywhere. I purchased from Heritage. I purchased from eBay.
Oh, I
Um,
don't do. I did Heritage once, and I'm never doing.
Me too.
That
I
backup.
feel the same
When you
way.
get that backup fee on there, and you're like, oh
I was like,
yeah,
I'm painting, or maybe I wasn't even painting. I was doing. It was a year ago. I was working on the roof, doing something, and it was like I had my phone out, and my Batman 232 came up, and I was like, $300 for a 4.5. That is low. Let me click that 310 or 320 is what it ended up being, right? Do you want to know what it was after the
425.
435
I was
after
close. Yeah.
buyer's premium, taxes, and shipping? 115, $125 extra on top. And it wasn't like it was like $1,000 transaction. I mean, this
Right.
was a $300 transaction. You know
Right.
what I mean? I was like, nope, not doing that again. Not
Tina,
doing
I
that again.
definitely respect that.
So dumb.
For me, I can only seem to bring myself to do that if I'm face to face with somebody. I just can't wrap my head around how you trade remotely unless it's somebody that you really. I mean, I could do it with Burke. I could do it with some of these guys
Sure.
that some of the guys that I hang regularly with online, and I built up a trust that but somebody that some of the other stuff that I see people do trades and stuff or have outreached me sometimes in the past, like, hey, would you be interested in trading for that? It's like, oh, dude, I don't even know you, man. Unless, how do you think we're going to
Sure.
facilitate that? Like, I'm going to trust that.
How do you feel about like consignment pages like um, Elite Comics 11 or Grails or whatever?
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I bought from consignment place. I mean, they're so. I mean, obviously with consignment, they're just it's the difference is they have the inventory in their hand, right, in their business, versus you buying it directly from the owner, right? So they're going to take a fee off of it, so you're going to pay a little bit more potentially, but at the same time, some of those consignment places work with their their sellers and say, hey, look, um, you know, this is what this book's going to get reasonably. We're going to have to do this, which means reasonably you're going to have to expect this. Otherwise, it's probably not going to sell. And I recently bought a book. I believe I bought my ASM 8 that I purchased. I ended up getting it from a guy on IG that I deal with regularly. He doesn't normally do consignments, or he didn't used to do consignments, but I guess now he's starting to do consignments as well. And this was his asking price on the book was really high at first, and I pinged him and I said, "Hey, is that price right, or is that a typo?" And because he was like double what retail, recent sales were, and he goes, "Oh, why is it high?" And I said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, go ahead and make me an offer." I'm like, "Oh, well, I think we're too far apart if that's the honest price." He goes, "No, go ahead. It's a consignment book. I have lots of leeway." So apparently he had some stuff, and so I sent him the data. I sent him, like I've done for some other people sometimes. So just
Sure.
people ask me for research, it's like, hey,
Sure.
here's the sales, from eBay, from Heritage, from this, and here's what over the last 2 months, here's what average sales price is this. And he comes back and he's like, oh, well, how about this? So I said, no. I said, I told you. You asked me what it was. Here's what I can do. And he goes, well, let me go talk to my guy. So he went back to his guy and he shared with him all the stuff. And he comes back and says, yeah, we'll do it. So I was able to pick up that book for fair market value, um, which was nice. But
Well, and I think a lot of people, they'll just go off of the highest sale and see if anyone will bite. But almost every single one of those, it's always best
oh
or best offer, right? Like, let's say I go to a con, I'm not
yeah,
paying sticker. I am not.
I hate on eBay this notion, or even sometimes on IG, where I have to set the new record with every sale I do. Well, the
Right.
last I'm selling this for 500 because the last sold was 450. Everything doesn't always go up, brother.
No. I mean,
If
if you
last
want it
sold was
gone, if you want it gone,
uh,
then I'm going to pay, below FMV. If you want it gone right now, I'm going to pay below FMV. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck with it. I'm putting together a box of books, raw and slabs, that I'd be willing to use for trades.
yeah.
I need to
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
gonna.
trust the person. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, I do plan on putting a few books together that I'm going to bring with me when I go to San Jose Con and when I go to Fan Expo in San Francisco, and either from community members that I see that are hooking up, bring some stuff potentially, or even potentially with some of the dealers. I mean, I like the fact that some dealers are willing to look at, especially if you have it there in graded books, willing to do some trades, and that's how Chris Comic Vet, when we were at C2E2, he had brought that Hulk 180 Mark Jewelers insert and was able to trade it for an ASM2.
Hmm.
Um, obviously there was a grade difference because of pricing on ASM2 versus the other, but he was able to get a fair book for what he felt, and he wanted far more than the Hulk 180. And I think he already had a 180. He might have been a second copy or something, but
My that 251 I bought from you is a Mark Jewelers insert.
yeah, that I was.
That's my first
Really?
one. That's my first one.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I didn't realize it was Mark Jewelers insert when I picked it up. That's for sure.
Do we have a moderator in the chat?
I don't know, but you should be able to block it from your end.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna hold on.
Yeah, here they come. NakedHD.xyz. Anywho, so what's okay? So we did that one. Did that one? I was scared. So the other one was, oh, what's your Brave and the Bold? Oh, that was you said it was like a 5 or something, right?
Mine's a 4. So I
4.
actually
Okay.
looked that up, and I was trying to look up the difference between the value of yours versus the value of mine, and it's, I mean, for being a 3 grade difference. Well, I mean, I guess
It's not as much as you think it should be, huh?
So okay, the FMV for a 7.0, Brave and the Bold 54, first appearance of the Teen Titans, which is a major, major key, right? $873 for a
Oh, that's
7.0.
gone up. That's gone up quite a bit since when I bought it.
4.0, which is what I have, $401. Both of ours have gone up. I paid,
So about $100 a grade.
yeah, essentially, yeah. I mean, mine has gone up. I paid about $200 plus shipping for mine.
Yeah, I paid like 5. So
Yeah, both of ours have gone up a couple $100. So
well, that's good. At least that book's getting some love finally, because I mean it was like criminally low for such a major key like that, right?
I mean, it's still, in my opinion, it's criminally low. It was gonna be in my like a video I was gonna do on books to get because they're so undervalued, insanely undervalued. Like I
Well,
don't,
that's where, yeah, there's still, I mean, there are still other books out there though that are, and this again kind of goes into your some of those first appearances. Yeah, they can be undervalued until somebody goes, oh well, you know what, I found it. Now I start making noise about it. But there are other books. If I can bring up my, I wanted to say a good example of.
you
I'm
want me
just
to
trying to
share a
bring it.
screen of something of yours?
I don't know if I'll be able to share a screen, but let me see if I can find what I'm even talking about. Um, why is it alphabetical order not always in alphabetical order when you're looking at stuff? Search.
Someone's dog is going crazy.
Oh, it's mine. So I have a hound dog, and at this time of night, they take it in the backyard and they run laser dots around the
Mm,
backyard, and the dog gets to hunt the laser and gets super excited. It's the only time my dog barks really is when she's in hunt mode and she's chasing uh, potential prey. And then what they'll do is to get to the end. Eventually, they'll put a treat down on the ground and shine the laser on the treat. The dog's able to eat the treat and got the dot type thing. So, anyways, we're kind of weird people, I suppose. Um, Brave and the Bold 60. So Brave and the Bold 60 is the second appearance of the Teen Titans, but it's the first appearance of Wonder Girl.
and it's
Right.
like the first time it's named the Teen Titans as well, I believe.
Right. Exactly. That book is pretty damn cheap. And then what was the other one? I just picked up the third appearance, which was of the Teen Titans. I think that was in Not Brave and the Bold. What's the? Gosh darn it! Hold on, I want to look. I know where it's at on my phone. I'm trying to remember what the hell the title, what the title is on that book. It kills me. Oh no, I have a.
So Mark posted about 20 minutes ago that the Overstreet Price Guide has gone digital.
Finally. Oh, that's interesting.
$3, $5, and $9 for the different tiers. At $3, you get browsing and search database and pricing information. At the $5, you get all of that. Plus, you can add issues to your want list, add preferred retailers. You also get access to their app. You don't get to use their app unless you are the $5 tier. You can just use a website.
Okay, so it sounds like it's sort of like Cover Price, where you can add some inventory aspect to it and stuff. But
yes,
well,
I mean that's essentially what it is, and there's some other stuff on there. I'll let you look at it.
Showcase, that's what it was. It was Showcase 59, which is the third appearance of Teen Titans, which was a pretty cool ass cover. I thought that was that
Showcase pink. What? Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
yeah. That's Showcase 59. Yeah.
I need to get a Showcase 22 and Showcase 4. I don't think the 4 is ever going to be in my budget, but the 22 I can get a low grade. I saw 1.5 for sale for $2,500 on one of the consignment pages.
God, where's my Showcase? DC Comics Showcase. Which one are you looking for?
22. That's first Green Hal Jordan Green Lantern.
Oh. Well, I have stuff, but I have the important stuff.
Do you?
Like 15, 17, 18.
You subscribe to? Is it Go Collect?
I currently subscribe to both Go Collect and Cover Price.
Okay, because I prefer Cover Price.
Cover Price. So I'm used to, and I'm trying to break my habit of using Go Collect. Go Collect, I liked it obviously before they did their redesign.
Yes.
I originally got it because it was integrated with CLZ. But then when I went to C2E2, I got Cover Price because I wanted pricing ranges on raw books as well as slabs.
Sure.
And I liked the fact that I could, on a basic subscription, start to upload books that I was interested in. So that way I could list, hey, these are the books I'm looking for at C2E2. And I could easily jump to those and have all the information quickly at my disposal, right?
Right.
Now I will be leaving Cover Price, or I'm sorry, we'll be keeping Cover Price. I will be probably dropping Go Collect because I need to move my Cover Price up to their top tier subscription level pretty soon, because they're going to be the one that's now integrated with CLZ. And at the top tier level, you'll be able to have all the pricing brought into, for all your books, be brought into CLZ, and be able to have the stuff where you can click on, go back and forth, everything else like they used to.
I do not have CLZ, and I've never once cataloged my books, and I know I should, but I just feel like I kind of know what's there, and I have books that I'm okay with getting rid of, and I don't really feel like going through the app and deleting stuff, and so I just kind of I don't catalog.
Wow.
Them. But I know a lot of people do.
I like to know what I have exactly. I like to be able to go back, especially on older books where I'm working on runs. Be able to, no matter where if I'm in an LCS, going like, do I recognize that cover because I have it, or do I recognize that cover because it's a cover I need? So let me pull up my app and find out. Oh, I need that book. Great, I'm gonna go pick it up. Or not pick it up and come home and go, oh crap, that's now the fourth copy I have because each of the last three times I've done this, I did the same thing and bought it. You know.
It's great for runs for sure. Like let's say you're doing like the Batman run. I mean,
Mhm.
like 800, 900
Also,
issues,
I
right?
mean, for my raw books, look, I the way I have them sorted, if I roughly knew something I had or whatever, or somebody, I could go more or less dig into it and find it pretty easily because the way I do catalog my or I do file my raw books by title and volume and numerical order,
Right,
like any sane man should. But
right.
there are some exceptions to that rule. I mean, obviously, there's some miscellaneous bins that
Yes.
have some that have some stuff that are kind of get a little bit more hairy. Um, and there's some stuff that's in the archives that might be a little bit more difficult. But when it comes to my slabs, and this is a problem that most people probably don't have, but when it comes to my slabs, it's too much hassle to constantly be reshuffling slab boxes when you have
Oh yeah,
700 plus slabs
yeah.
to see shuffling things around to keep them in alphabetical order, whatever. And I really early on decided, you know what, forget it. I have a box. I will put as I get them. They will go in the open box. That open box will be alphabetical,
Hmm.
yes. And if there's multiples from a title, they will be numerical then in there. But it's just whatever comes in. And then when I'm done with it, it goes to the next box.
Yeah.
Boom. And so I might have Spider-Man books in every single box that I have.
Yep.
I might, but I have a box number, and that box number is the location that's in my CLZ. And so now when I go looking, I can find any one of those books. I'm like, oh, I want to find this slab. It's in this box. Great. I go pull that box. No problem. Right. And now that they also track all your keys, and when they go back to eventually having the pricing as well, because I like to know all that information. I like
Sure.
to have it, whether I'm not doing anything with it. And of course, finally, it does serve as a purpose other than me from an insurance standpoint or whatever. Here's what I have or had if that happens.
Oh,
Or if something happens to me, my wife has access to my computer. She could access it. Here's a list of her. She can export a list of here's everything that there is. If she wants to move, get rid of it. And when if she's going, somebody's going, hey, Burke says, hey, I'm interested in buying this collection. Well, what's in it?
well, here's a
Well,
here's a
here's a
list.
list, and here he also put an approximate grade for everything that he had, or in some case, all the slab books, and here's what the grade is, and here you go, and you can look at it, and you go, okay, well, what are you looking for? Get well. I've always told her, I said, well, here's what you need, especially once the values get updated, right? I said, you're able to pull a report on the values. Very simple. I would simply just tell somebody whatever the value of the slabs is, that's the cost of the whole collection, and you get all the raws for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, so what I would do is, I mean, that's a great way to do it. That's one way to do it. The other way you could do it is be like, all right, well, let me find one of these big guys that has a lot of money, like Bryce Comics or
Yeah,
Very Gary, that will buy the whole collection, or
right.
they'll be willing to buy just the slab books at like 70% of the value, and then just take all the other raw books over to a comic shop, and if they'll give me $100 per box, I think my wife would be
Sure,
happy
you
with
could.
that.
Yeah, you could do that. Like I said, but I was just saying, like, if you want to try, if you're finding someone just to buy the whole thing in one lot, is it? You say,
Yeah.
hey, here's what the slabs are worth. You get all these raw books for free, and they can see that. Oh, okay, there's good raw books in there too. It's not just a bunch of
Yeah,
dollar
for
books
sure.
and shit. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, that
It's
seems
a nice
fair.
mixture. Yeah.
There's 8,000 raw books here. I think I can make my money on that.
Sure.
Plus the
Right.
slab, plus the slabs aren't. If you're going off of what FMV is, they're so.
Hopefully, if anything ever happened to me, Panda and Mike V would come to the rescue to make sure that.
Oh, I'm sure they'll take them all to their private homes and
Well,
take good care of them.
well, I'm sure that they would be like, all right, well, I would like to buy this and this at a decent price, and my wife, I'm sure, would do it and then sell the rest. They would help with what needed to be helped with.
Absolutely. They'll make a giant pinata, stuff them all inside, and let the community line up and take wild whacks. And when they finally break open the pinata, everybody will scramble for all the books that fall to the ground.
Well, I'm sure that they would do auctions or buy it nows on the YouTube, and whatever's left in there would sell to Bryce or whoever. But I do not subscribe to, getting back to that topic, I don't subscribe to CLZ, Go Collect, GPA, Cover Price, any of that. But I have used Go Collect. I do use Cover Price because you get 3 to 5 free ones a day.
Mm-hmm.
I have in the past used Comics Price Guide, which their prices are so outdated I don't even look at it anymore. But I've never used GPA or some of the other ones. I did have someone reach out to me. I think it's called like Price Charter.
Hmm.
Price Charter comic. Price charting. Yeah, they reached out to me about doing their reviewing their website. I never got around to doing it.
Well, look at you, Mr. Fancy Pants.
What?
I guess that's what happens when you get thousands of subscribers. People reach out to you.
Well, it didn't. I don't know. It wasn't.
Just teasing.
The reason why I've never done it is because it wasn't going to be a paid thing, and so it got put to the back burner. If I saw dollar signs, yeah, I would have done it right away. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. We know Burke. He's got to buy some sleeves someday.
Sleeves are always optional. Always optional. In fact,
except when you're shoveling snow.
Yeah. Well, actually, let me show you something. So today is actually my wife and I's 10-year wedding anniversary.
I was like, 5-year anniversary. Did you tell your 7-year-old that?
No, 10-year wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank
round
you.
numbers are fun.
They are.
They sound they sound important, more important than the other numbers somehow.
Why is my phone going so slow? I'm trying to pull up a photo from our wedding, and it's kind of funny because I'm not wearing the typical.
Are you sleeveless in your freaking tuxedo, dude?
I am not sleeveless, but I am sleeveless. Here, I'm going to show you what I mean.
That's just wrong. I had hair in my wedding picture, but grew out hair. I grew out my hair just for the wedding, just for the photos, and then promptly thereafter shaved my head right after the honeymoon.
There you go. I'm trying to find a good photo here. Here we go. This is a good one. All right. No blazer, just the
vest.
The vest. It was an outdoor wedding. It was 98 degrees at 6 p.m. that day.
Well, that's fair enough. I mean, and probably some humidity to boot.
Well, and we had decided that it was going to be a little less formal. I appreciate that. We've been live for an hour and 8 minutes. Yeah, with it being an outdoor wedding, we're like, okay, all the groomsmen, they're only wearing gray slacks, a button-up shirt, and a yellow tie because our colors were gray and yellow. And then I was going to wear a tux just without the jacket.
So, I mean, at least you didn't make them wear purple.
So I really wanted it. We really wanted it.
Of course, you really did.
But like one of my friends,
and you wanted the backs all to say cats or something on the back too.
One of my friends had already gotten married, and he was.
Or Wildcat cummerbunds.
They had already done purple, and we're like, we don't really want them to think we're copying them, and we wanted to do something a little different. So I just let my wife pick the colors, and she picked gray and yellow, and I was like, okay, that's fine, as long as it's not during the football season, I'm good. And like I said, today's a 10-year wedding anniversary, so we got married July 21st, 2012, and it was hotter than you know what.
Yeah, well, you picked July. I mean.
Part of the reason we picked July was also because my sister's in the military, and I was like one of the 2 times that she could come. Another time, like I said, was during football season, and I said we're not getting married during football season. So,
wow,
I am that kind of fan. I know it's terrible. But that's the kind
I didn't get married in football season either. I got married in March. It's much cooler.
Well, there you go. I mean. What is it like? April, May, and June.
And then to make sure that I never forget, I tattooed my wedding day on my sleeve there, on my permanent sleeves.
She is retired Army. She was a major.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, she was pretty high. She's pretty high up. She got in at a young age and worked her way up. Went through some. I mean, what's her best way to say this in the most polite way possible? Um, she had to go through a little bit more stuff that, as you'd imagine, for a woman to be
Yeah,
in charge in the military.
yeah, especially at that
It
time.
always is for a woman in charge, but specifically the military. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So,
there's not, it has not been a good haul for a lot of women who that have gone through that, and
she's had some crazy.
kudos to those episodes.
She's had some crazy stories of being disrespected by, um, I mean, both male and female,
Yeah,
for
they
sure.
just absolutely think it's acceptable because well, what are you gonna do? You're just a woman,
But thankfully, it has become more, and it should be, especially as a girl dad. Um, it has become more acceptable for women to be in charge and all
Dude.
that.
I
She's a
remember
great person. So
so when I was in Norwich University, which was the military school that I went to, and I was ROTC and everything when I was doing that, I remember it was just post tailhook scandal, and they were doing the sexual harassment training stuff for the
oh, okay,
military at that point, and I just remember thinking, my goodness, I couldn't believe it was supposed to be like a 2-hour training. It went like 8 hours because there were so many guys who just didn't understand the concept when they tell you, hey, if she says no, it means no or whatever. And they're like, oh,
sure,
what do you mean? I don't get it.
right,
Or the concept that if she's drunk and she says yes, it still means no. What? That doesn't make sense,
sure,
man. If I'm drunk, they just want to argue it, and like they'd ask the same question 14 times trying to look for a loophole. It's like, why are
right,
you looking for a loophole? Why don't you just accept that you should be a freaking man and like respect somebody and not try to find a way where it might be okay for you to take advantage of them or to
yeah,
disrespect somebody. It's like I didn't get it. Um, which was probably why by the time I got my sophomore year, I was like super disillusioned by a lot of what I was seeing and completely turned my career path thoughts around from being up until from like age 12 till age 20. I swore that my whole career was going to be I was going to go in, do 20, 25 years in the army, and then I was going to go out and do something else. And by the time I got my second year
right.
ROTC, I was so disillusioned by the whole stuff that I walked away from everything I had, you know, envisioned.
How does this person come back? I blocked them on the channel. They must have a VPN.
Or another name
No,
now,
it's
and
not because I tried to click on block user on the channel,
mhm.
um, and when I click on it, all I can click is unhide user. So I've already hid the user on the channel, and yet they still can do. They got to fix that. They gotta fix it. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is weird.
Disgusting. That's really disgusting. Rob, what do you got going on your channel coming up here over the next couple days or week?
Oh well, we always do the box openings and stuff. Let me see if I can block this person. Block. I don't know. It says they've already been blocked.
Yeah,
Yeah, that is weird. Because even as a
I don't get it, man.
anyways,
It's weird, dude.
yeah. So Mondays and Thursdays we do our some various unboxings. I'm trying to decide if next Monday is going to be an all slabs mail call day, or if it'll be Raws, and then the following one would be. I don't know. But coming up, there's going to be an all slabs because I got a bunch of slabs back from facilitators. So it means a lot of yellow label books. That's going to be kind of cool. This week on Rob's Fat Stacks presents Slab Hub the Show featuring Chris the Comic Vet. That's the new name. Exciting, isn't it?
So, it's funny. I'll let you keep continuing. I have a story to tell you, actually.
Yeah, so we got Bub's World coming on this Saturday on Slab Hub. So that'll be exciting. Then
So,
a major channel announcement that's going to completely change the shape of the Rob Fat Stacks channel next week sometime.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I'd like to know what it is early, but you don't have to tell me.
That no, it is I mean, literally, it's going to completely change the channel.
Wow. I'm excited for it then. I'm excited to hear what it is. I'm excited to hear what it is.
I have
This,
mixed feelings about it.
you have mixed feelings about it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So there you are.
Um, the story I was going to tell you is that so I have two chats. I got one for the family tier members for the YouTube channel, which if you want to join, hit the join button below, become a channel member. We have chats for them. We get videos early and shout outs and videos and entered in the family tier entered to win that monthly Burke Box again, sponsored by the 616comics.com. Anyways, we have a family tier chat and then we have a Burke fam chat too, which is all the friends and supporter tier members. And it was you remember when I put in there, maybe you didn't see it, I was talking about how hey, I appreciate it, yes, I'm going to be there for sure. I put in there about how like the creators of the Winter Soldier and Yelena Belova were only getting $5,000 per movie for the appearance of their characters that they created. Well, then I posted the video about how Neil Adams, who created Ra's al Ghul, I
Right.
mean, there was nothing set in stone of DC, and the creators of DC just walked up and just gave $100,000 check after he was in the movie, and so I put that into both chats, and in
Yeah.
the
So
second chat, we had some Chris on Chris fighting going on with Flo and the comic vet. They were going at it, and it was no holds barred whatsoever. And I definitely saw both points for sure.
it's definitely interesting. I saw something recently. There was an article, and I want to say, oh, God, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember which creator it was. Like off the top of my head, I can't remember. So let's just say it was Joe Blow. But Joe Blow had something to do with the black suit costume Spider-Man stuff. And I remember reading recently that it's like Disney, once Disney got it, like they were talking about doing something, they went over and they were sending some money to the creator, and he was like, "Oh, what's this for?" And they're like, "Oh, it's for this, stuff, whatever." And he's like, "Oh, that was all work for hire stuff, man. It was like handshake agreement, work for hire stuff." He's like, "Oh, I mean, it's nice that you want to do that." He says, "But I fulfilled a handshake agreement, whatever, and that's that." And he's like honoring the creator's trying to honor the agreement. He is, and Disney's like some lawyer at Disney's was going like, "You're going to use this stuff. This guy's like might be entitled to stuff because there's no contract and da 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 da." It was like this back and forth before he finally just took the money and went on with his life. But it was like really kind of funny because that's really how a lot of that business, a lot of that work was.
It's crazy, dude.
It was work for hire, and a lot of it was handshake stuff. So when you did that, you don't have necessarily control and rights to any of that. That was something my youngest is studying emerging media and digital arts and stuff, but did a logo design and stuff for my uncle for his business. And I remember it was like he's sitting over the work for hire contract, and we were trying to sit there and say, well, put some stipulations on its use of the logo, like down the road, if something were to happen. And like he was like, "Oh no, this is a work for hire thing." First, he got kind of bent because I think part of the things we were trying to say, like if your business starts being involved with anti-LGBTQ stuff,
Sure.
you have to stop using the logo or something. And he got bent like, "How dare you suggest that I would think that way?" And I said, "Hey, you might sell the company and somebody else might take it over and be using it, and we want this as
Hmm.
part of the thing."
Sure.
And that kind of smoothed him over, which was ironic because then he actually ended up selling the company. But uh, but it was like, it's trying to get into one of those work for hire, any kind of restrictions or control. I mean, we didn't want any kind of long-term money control. We just wanted to be able to make sure, hey, you can't use it if you're going to be a hateful company
Sure.
type of thing. And wanted to be able to have permission to utilize the logo in their portfolio. So, as you build out your portfolio, you have, well, I designed this logo and I did this and this and this,
Yeah.
but you have to have permission because you didn't do it yourself as a contractor. You did it as a work for hire. It belongs to them. So you have to get permission to be able to utilize it.
There's a
It was,
lot of like fine lines with that stuff, man. It really is. And
yeah,
some of that stuff, it's tough because it's like the contract says one thing, but like in my head, like I think like the millions of dollars that Disney's making off of the Winter Soldier or Yelena Belova or whatever, like just the Black Widow movie, $380 million. You can't pay more than $5,000 to the creators, really. Like that's it. But at the same time, it
they're not
is
necessarily entitled to any
is
of it either.
it is the contract, and it is a privilege to work for DC,
Yeah.
Marvel, or whatever. So I get
Yeah.
it, but
And then,
at the same time, morally, I see things differently.
no, there's definitely a way to see both sides of it for sure. This is an issue that's coming up even like in, TV and stuff, right? So you have
Yeah.
all kinds of people actors who did these shows, and these shows, part of the contracts include residuals,
Mm-hmm.
right, for reruns and everything else. But they only cover, the way they're written is they only cover, broadcast.
So streaming, they get nothing.
Correct. Which is why so many of these studios and stuff have been happy to try to create their own streaming channels and stuff. Is not only to fill their own, or not only to be able to say they have their own, but they have all these shows that they can run, and it won't cost them a dime. They don't
No,
have to license their
it's
own
just more
shows from themselves.
content for the user to
Right.
be like, oh, that's
Whereas,
cool. They have every episode of Friends or every episode of
right. And
Seinfeld or
NBC
whatever.
owns it already, so they can do that. Whereas like Netflix and them, they have to buy that from
Mm-hmm.
them at least. They still don't have to pay the residuals, but and so now I'm
Sure.
curious to see, and I haven't read anything. I'd be curious to see how that's changing for these digital first and digital created shows. Now that we have so
Sure.
many big budget shows being created specifically just for these digital channels and may never be available elsewhere. Sometimes they're
I mean,
available via
Stranger
DVD.
Things is a prime example.
Yeah. How do they get any kind of residuals per play or whatever else? It's going to be quite interesting to see, not only what's there or how that kind of goes out. Yeah, the precedence on paying creators money.
Yeah, I mean
There
that's
aren't contracts
probably
required to
true
pay.
because like
Yeah.
if you pay someone like, all right, I morally think that whoever created the Winter Soldier, morally he should probably get 100 grand for every movie. Now I got to pay 100 grand to the Yelena Belova creator or the person who created Groot or whatever. So
Or you use a particular costumes in a thing that's similar to a particular creator who introduced that costume variant into the
sure.
thing. There's a lot of that, and
And they
yeah,
and they signed a contract that says, "Hey, you create something, we own it."
right. And granted, some of that's how, especially in the work for hire, that's how it is, and they knew what they're getting to, and it's steady job, right? Versus doing stuff. And then there's others. Then there's some stuff where they're entitled to some of the more newer kind of sort of entitled to some of the stuff, but what they envisioned at the time the contract created, like we're talking about here, the streaming for these channels and the residuals, right?
Yep.
It wasn't nobody unless you had a crystal ball or you were Kyle and came from the future, right? Or time traveling
Right.
about. You don't know what that was, and so how could you potentially put that kind of stuff in there? Like, oh, I thought that Spider-Man was going to become a huge movie, make billions of dollars, and I want to make sure that my kids get residuals. And
so I have a great story to end on here before we get out of here.
Yeah.
So I interviewed Kyle Higgins in an unaired interview with Simple Man's
coming
Comics.
soon to Burke 54.
I'm dead serious. 2 years ago, I interviewed Kyle Higgins on YouTube, but it was, like I said, it was an unaired interview. Anyways, for people that don't know, he was the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers writer following his stint at DC, where he did Nightwing, and there was like one or two other ones he did. Anyways, along with writing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, he created possibly the greatest Power Rangers villain, if you don't include Lord Zed and Rita. He created Lord Draken, which is the alternate evil version of Tommy, right? So he's the one who decided to stay bad, and he's a mixture of both the White Ranger and the Green Ranger, but again, he's evil. And massive popularity around this character. Everyone loves him. And he was set to do like a show movie surrounding Lord Draken. My goodness gracious, dude. Around Lord Draken, along with like a story he created. And it never ended up happening. But what they did is, since the character is owned by Boom Studios and Saban, they actually use almost the exact same script from the show to create a mini series. And he was super pissed about it because he's like, "This is a character I created, and they're doing this and this and this and with them." And he was, what's the right word? Like, he wasn't super pissed, but like that's why he went straight from there to the creator-owned Radiant Black series, where every single thing is creator-owned, and so he can do anything when he wants it. Like, so if it decides to go to an animated show or movie or whatever, he owns all the rights to that, because he was tired of working for DC and Boom and whoever, and not owning the rights to characters and stories that he created. So,
yeah.
That's what happened.
Yeah, no. And as to Aggressive Galacti's point, said about buying variant covers with medical bills going, to some of those guys, that would definitely be kind of cool. I know that I do make a point when certain covers lately, I see certain variants come out.
Yep.
I do know that a lot of these creators have their own sites, and I have found myself more and more, I will bypass these pop-up digital stores, and I will go and buy, if I want that variant, I'll go to that creator's site and purchase the variant directly from them, knowing that they're going to get a bigger piece
Patrick
of
Gleason,
that pie.
Alex Ross, those type people.
Yeah, all of them. Also because in doing so, usually because I am a signature guy, I can usually get a signed raw copy for the same price as that as the non-signed copy at Unknown or wherever else it is. So,
I like it.
Definitely.
I like it. Support the creators for sure. Not that there's anything wrong with major companies.
While you're at it, don't forget, support your local comic book shop. They're the heart and lifeblood of this community, and without them, we'd all be sitting here on Wednesday picking our noses, waiting for the mailman to come.
Like me.
And you know what? They don't. They're not. None of there ain't one of them. There's not a single LCS I know of that's a strictly LCS shop that's rolling in cash and rolling. Those guys are working.
They're doing it because they love it.
They're doing it because they love it. Or at least they started out loving it. And they're working 50 plus, 60 plus hours, and or more. So don't forget to support your LCS. Pick up an incentive every once in a while.
Support the good ones for sure. Because I've been to some bad ones. There is one that I will not.
Oh, sure. If your LCS doesn't treat you like crap, then you should.
Yeah, there's one that is. I wouldn't say it's super local, but it's local to my job.
Mm-hmm.
And I will not. I go there maybe once every 6 months just to look at their back wall and flip through their expensive books. Outside of that, I will not shop from them. I would rather support a great business like Paul.
Paul's working 7 days a week. There
exactly,
you go. Yeah,
he's working 7 days a week. Yeah, I'd rather support him and my old LCS lunatics than a shop like that. So, you have Slob Hub on Saturday of Chris, the comic vet.
Yep. Bob's World.
Bub's World. That's right. He's a trip, dude. He is a trip. I will have some sort of video coming out this weekend at some point.
Way to sell it, Burke.
What's that?
Way to sell it.
I'll
have something sometime somewhere.
Being the only parent here with my kid, and
this just means for those of you at home right now, hit the notification bell because you don't know when it's coming, but it will come. Happen. And the notification bell will let you know that Burke has arrived in your inbox.
But if you misheard it earlier, we are going to have an auction here on the YouTube channel next Thursday. I'm going to be selling Marquez, Panda. I think Rob said he's going to be on there. Flo possibly, and we'll see who else. We're also going to be drawing for the Burke box next Thursday as well on a channel. Also, I'm doing a raffle for my Marvel Spotlight number 5, first Ghost Rider in the CBCS 5.5. That will be raffled off starting tomorrow at like 40 or 42 spots at $50 each. So make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, Burke Family 54 Comics. We'll be raffling that off until every spot is filled and paid for, and then we'll run that raffle. And that's pretty much it. I hope everyone has a great day. We'll hit up all the sponsors, and we'll get out of here. Can't wait to see whatever content Burke surprises Texas with. There's going to be something. I have a few ideas. We'll see what actually happens because
he's going to make spaghetti.
I'm flying solo this weekend, and my daughter has her because of COVID, something got pushed back a week, so my wife is gone for it. My daughter has a theater performance tomorrow night and Saturday, and my daughter has lines, and so we gotta go to practice tomorrow. We gotta show up early, and my whole family. We got a whole row, and so there's a lot of stuff happening. A lot of stuff happening in the Burke fam.
Burke, I'm just happy that when you said that you were making how you make spaghetti, it wasn't Chef Boyardee open a can of SpaghettiOs.
My daughter loves SpaghettiOs, dude. She does.
So does mine. I don't know what the hell that is.
It's disgusting.
All right.
I'll hit up all the sponsors and we'll get out of here. Thank you to the 616comics.com for sponsoring a channel and sponsoring a monthly Burke box. Make sure you guys check out the 616comics.com for exclusive variants, ratio variants, slabs, statues, and more. Speaking of the Burke box, everyone in the family tier, thank you guys so much for being channel members. Thank you guys, everyone in the friend tier and supporter tier. But again, everyone in the family tier is entered to win, again, that monthly Burke box sponsored by the 616. And we are drawing for that next Thursday again here on the YouTube channel. Everyone in the family tier and family tier and friend tier, a link to the Instagram and YouTube is in the description of all my videos. Subscribe to them, follow them, and support this amazing comic book community. Thanks everyone for watching. And as always,
go Cats! Cowabunga! It's Morphin time!